Alright, y'all, we are back. And when I say we are back today. Because you know what time it is. Baddies ATL is back. We just had a 2-week hiatus of no episodes. Which, I mean, if you're not following certain girls on the show, you know that you're missing out on some stuff, because there's been a lot this past week in that little world that's gonna take a huge part in the reunion. We'll kind of touch on that at the end of the episode, but as always, please like, comment, subscribe, give this video a huge thumbs up right now. Please do that right now. Get some comments down below. I ain't talked to y'all about this show in almost 2 weeks, but yeah, go ahead and hit subscribe, share this whenever the video's up. I want y'all to drop in them comments, start talking. I want some interaction. Also, I want y'all to check out my other reviews. I got Big Brother, Love Island. I got a couple of other ones coming soon too, but yeah, I want y'all to check those out as well. If you ain't watched Big Brother, if you ain't watched Love Island, and you're only watching for the Baddies reviews, check out the review, man. Because the review will tell you a lot about the show, and I feel like if you like reality TV, you would like both of those shows. So just go ahead and check out them reviews, let me know what you think, and let's rock this out. So we get into the episode. So the first scene is Sydney talking on the phone to none other than Mehgan James. We finally get Mehgan on the show, and I feel like with her little stint that she's gonna be on the show, I feel like it's gonna at least bring something out of these girls, because we've been waiting for something with these episodes, some kind of structure or some type of just storyline, truthfully, and this is what's gonna bring it. She's talking to Sydney, and I found this interesting because they're introducing her as Sydney's friend, and Sydney's the one that's bringing her in, which I found kind of odd, because out of all the girls there, I would think that the friend that would have brought her would have been either Janelle, Christina, or Seven, because those are the three. If you've seen the videos and just like online, just the social presence, those three are the three that are closest to Mehgan, at least to my recollection. But I just found that interesting how they got Sydney being the one to bring her there for her birthday. But that's the reason why Mehgan's coming, is because it's Sydney's birthday and Sydney wants to have Mehgan in the house, and she wants her to be there with them for celebrating her birthday. So, of course, Mehgan is kind of apprehensive. She's like, so with me coming, is everybody else okay with that? Because I know a lot of the girls in there may not like me, yada, yada, yada. Basically, the two girls she's talking about is Natalie and Tanisha. And Sydney's like, she's got so much to tell her. She wants to tell her a lot, and she doesn't want to do it over the phone because it's too much to tell her over the phone. So what Sydney tells her is like, I think that they'll be good, but I'm bringing you here because I want you here. And she was like basically trying to touch on the beefs that she has with Tanisha and Natalie. And Mehgan was like, yeah, we got this year-long beef with Natalie, and basically wants to come to a conclusion of just basically having a sit down where they can pretty much hash everything out and kind of set the precedence for where they go going forward, to where there's no longer a beef. So if they either like each other and move forward, or they just don't like each other and just can coexist in a certain space and not have to worry about fighting. Whereas with Tanisha, she ain't really fucking with Tanisha like that. So the difference is, you can tell she's trying to come to a resolution with Natalie because she's tired of that, but Tanisha she's not fucking with. So this is gonna be really interesting to see. And another thing with Sydney, I don't know if I'm the only one that's noticing this, but like if you look at her while she's doing all her extra stuff, you can tell she's just putting on for the camera. She's doing all this smiling and stuff and doing all this stuff with her neck and just trying to look cute on the camera. But one thing that I noticed about her, I don't know if she's slow. Did she graduate high school or something? Did she at least have a GED? Because I don't know. It's just like when she tries to speak, it's like she can't even complete a sentence or a thought. And just certain words are not coming out of her mouth smoothly as it typically would with anybody else. But what else I noticed is that when her eyes, like you just look at her eyes kind of look kind of spacey. And it's like it's dead behind the eyes. And it's kind of, it's a little side note, but it's one thing I can't help but notice, because I don't know if she's slow, but something ain't right upstairs. So we got the next scene, and this scene is long. Let's talk about this. It was like 10 minutes for a whole scene, but this scene was cool. I mean, we've been struggling to find a storyline for the show, because it's kind of like we're watching just no structure, and we don't really know what to expect, or at least any kind of foreshadow per se, besides the Seven and Sarah fight. But So Christina, Janelle, and Seven are sitting down in the pool area. This is a new area that we've never seen on the show yet. But they're basically just rehashing the Seven and Sarah fight, kind of where Seven's headspace was in it. I guess because Christina, I don't feel like she maybe got full clarity in regards to where Seven was at mentally with the whole situation. So they were basically just rehashing that, and as they're doing that, Sydney comes down the stairs. And she's just being her extra self as usual. She has to make an entrance. She comes through there strutting like she's on a runway, doing the most, flipping her hair, doing all that extra Sydney shit. It was funny to watch though. I ain't gonna lie. She's very annoying to me because you can tell she just do too much. I'm just not the type of person that typically likes people that do too much because I'm just very chill, straightforward. Just this is what you get. I'm not gonna do too much. But that's just what she does. And she gets down and they're just laughing and talking about how extra she is, and she's talking about asking them basically what are they talking about, like what are y'all sitting here talking about, and they tell her like we're sitting here talking about the drama in the house, and Sydney's like, well, I love the drama, and we like, yeah, we know you love the drama, and Christina's like, yeah, I feel like you love it, but there's another side to you, and then Sydney makes this analogy that has no correlation to her personality at all. She said something along the lines of like she's a peanut butter jelly sandwich. And then she's making all these sexual innuendos, which Seven caught, and was like, that has no description of your personality at all. It just seems very sexual. And that's what she was doing. When she got up, she started doing all this extra shit too, and just like doing these movements. It's in Sydney fashion. And that's when I'm like, is she slow? Because it had no correlation to personality traits. Peanut butter and jelly, no. But it's funny because they sitting there, and Seven's like, I need you to stop picking on my friend, talking about Janelle. And Christina's acting like she had no idea that she was picking on her. I don't know how she had him because before they even filmed the show, if you look at all the clips online on YouTube or on the Instagram pages, Sydney been trying her best to pick at Janelle about her body and stuff and calling her trans and stuff. And in that moment, whenever I was just watching the videos prior, I kind of came to the conclusion that she was jealous. And she literally proved it in this scene and even confirmed it, which she then later denied, but she confirmed it, saying like she's got insecurities when she's around women because she wants her body to look a certain way, she wants to look a certain way. And Janelle's like, I think you're a beautiful woman, I think you're beautiful, but if you want to get your body done, I can give you my doctors. You want to look like me, you can. And that's what Sydney was saying in her confessional, like Janelle's the one walking around with her titties out, showing off her body, talking about she got a lipo flattened stomach and just yada yada, just talking about Janelle's surgeries and how she looks. And Janelle is basically the muse for what she wants to look like. And she said that should have been her walking around doing that. It's like, Sydney, come on now, you too grown to be acting like this. Like, this is some childish behavior, like just jealous because of how somebody's body looks. And it was funny too because Janelle touched on what, and I'm telling you, Janelle she and Seven are the voice of reason, but Janelle says exactly what I be thinking. She said the same thing I said last week. I mean, not last week, the last episode, about them ashy ass knees and them ashy legs. But Janelle said, like, I mean, you kind of have a similar body type to me. You can look like me if you want to. My body is just moisturizing. Yours is not. When she said that, I just died laughing. And then they showed, like, they panned back to Sydney, and you look at her kneecaps, and them hoes is ashy as fuck.
I look beautiful. I carry myself well. My skin is moisturized. Yours is not. And I think that
I agree that
if you
like, it's just so funny. But that whole scene was funny because Sydney was taking it. I mean, she was a good sport about it. That's one thing I can say about Sydney in the moment. When Janelle comes at her, she takes it in stride. She laughs, and you can tell it doesn't necessarily, at least it doesn't bother her to just straight out the gate in front of somebody, but maybe it does on the inside. But she's a good sport in that aspect. You can tell she just likes to be there and just likes to be around those girls. So then she then tells them that she wants to invite them out for her birthday. And Seven's like, where are we going? I need to know what's going on, because with you, I don't know what to do and I don't know what to expect. And she's like, well, we're gonna go to the club, we're gonna go out. And she then tells them that she invited Mehgan. And they all like, okay, hold up, wait a minute. We all like Mehgan, but Mehgan don't like half the other girls in this house. And she was like, did you tell the other girls that she was coming? And Sydney's like, no. And they like, you messy as fuck. Like, this is the type of shit that you do. Which I guess in a way, it is good that Sydney, I guess I can say it's good to have her on the show in a way, because for the most part, the other girls aren't necessarily interested in just being messy. She's just trying to be messy, and she's just trying to create a show, even though her show is not authentic at all, and it's just so transparent. You can see exactly what she's doing, which is why I don't particularly like her like that. But she's trying to make a show, and I mean, I guess I can respect it. But basically, they're like, well, you need to go tell Natalie, you need to go tell Tanisha. And she's like, I guess I'll go tell Natalie since Natalie's here, but Tanisha, I don't really care to tell her. And then she's like, I guess I'll go tell her. So then she's getting ready to get up and go tell her. And there was one funny thing that she said where she was like, if they do end up fighting, I'll block Natalie, and we need all, like, 3-4 y'all to block Tanisha. Basically saying, like, Tanisha's so big, she needs more people around her. That was funny. I couldn't help but notice that too. But that scene was a fun scene, because, I mean, it was a very long scene. But it was a cool scene, because, I mean, you got to see a lot of their personalities. You got to see them laughing and just joking and having feel-good conversation. So, yeah, I appreciated that scene. So the next thing we get, Sarah going to Natalie's room, and Natalie's sitting in there on her phone talking to her husband. And Sarah comes walking in there, and Natalie immediately is like, okay, what are you coming to complain about now? And Sarah immediately gets upset. And it's like, I'm not complaining, like, you complain all the time too. And Natalie's like, I'm sick of dealing with it. Like, I'm tired of hearing you complain the whole time. Which I can definitely vouch for, because after a certain period of time, I would be sick of hearing that shit too. Like, shut up. Like, what else are you going to complain about? But as they're in there about to have a conversation, here comes Sydney. And Sydney's standing there, and Natalie's like, okay, look, now I got another issue to deal with. Sydney's basically barges in and is like, okay, well, I got something to tell you about, because, you know, my birthday's coming and I got something to talk to you about. So she basically is about to start talking. Natalie's asking Sarah to leave so they can have their conversation. And Sarah gets up, but she doesn't leave. She's standing there watching the whole time. So Sydney then tells Natalie that, you know, my birthday's coming and I'm going to I have invited Mehgan to come. And then Natalie brings up the fact that she's basically been trying to plan both of their birthdays, getting Sarah a cake, and then I guess planning for Sydney as well. And Sarah gets upset. She's like, well, I don't want no joint birthday party, and like, my birthday she said her birthday's this week, and Sydney's birthday was earlier in the month. And Sydney's like, no, my birthday is every single day this month, which was so funny to me. I was like, because like I've heard people celebrating a birthday week and having like a whole week of celebration, but like every single day, please. But Sydney said that, and Sarah obviously was looking at her like, you are stupid, like shut up. But getting back to Mehgan being told to Natalie, Natalie's not happy about it, obviously. Because in a way, I don't want to say Natalie is scared of Mehgan, because I haven't really seen Natalie per se be scared. But she definitely knows Mehgan is not one that she wants to mess with. And she's basically telling her that, like, no, that's not okay. I don't want her in this house. Like, if you're going to bring her to the club, that's fine, but I don't want her in this house. I don't want her here. I don't want these vibes. And she's basically like, did you tell Tanisha? And Sydney's like, no, I need to talk to her about it. So then Tanisha ends up calling her magically. Like, come on, tell me that's not set up. But Tanisha ends up calling Natalie, and Natalie's like acting a fool, doing what she normally does. There's drama, just being like that. And then sitting there talking in the phone about something, because I guess Tanisha's about to hang up the phone. And she's like, don't you hang up the phone, don't you hang up the phone. Just doing that shit. Them two right there are the two that do that stuff. But Tanisha was on the phone, and they ended up turning the FaceTime around to show Sydney, so Sydney could tell her, hey, listen, Mehgan's coming to my birthday. And Tanisha's saying the same thing that Natalie is. No, we don't want to deal with those vibes, AKA, they don't want to have to deal with Mehgan, because they know Mehgan will fight, and they ain't ready for it. So Natalie is then telling them, like, I'm about to go to Tanisha's house and go talk to her. And basically that's where we're about to go to, and then another funny part was Sydney telling Sarah to shut up.
Like, this is where that makes me mad a little bit too, because I do feel like other girls disrespect you, and I don't disrespect you.
No, shut up.
Because Sarah was like, see, look, these girls do this to you. They pull this stuff on you. I don't ever do this stuff. And it's like Sarah, to a certain extent, is looking like a puppy, basically sitting here trying her best to be Natalie's friend and do everything for Natalie that Natalie would want and Natalie asked for, which I don't think that's a friend. Like, you shouldn't have to do too much to make your friend happy. Like, you should just be yourself. And I mean, you do certain things that sometimes you might not like, and the person might not like the things that you do, but that's your friend. Like, I wouldn't want my friend to be catering to me every single day. Truthfully, I wouldn't. I want you to be yourself. And if you can't make it to certain events, you can't make it to certain events. If you can't do certain things with me, you just can't do that. But I don't expect you to be there for me every single time. But I mean, that's just me. And I'm a guy and they're girls, so I mean, it's different. But okay, it's starting to get good. The structure is starting to have a storyline finally. But so we get Natalie in the car over to Nisha's house, and I guess she gets a text. I don't know who it was from, but it's a flyer of the girls on a flyer basically hosting the event, which is Sydney's birthday, at the club. It's like a club promoter flyer that most people post on their Instagrams or social media just to bring people in. And there's Mehgan on the photo with all the rest of the girls. And that pisses Natalie off. She calls Sydney and she's like, who did this? And Sydney's like, I did it. So she's pissed off. So she gets to Tanisha's house and she's like, okay, well look, this is what the deal is. And basically runs down the whole situation again, that Mehgan is coming to the house. She's coming, and now she brings up the fact that there's a flyer that has been made, and all of our names and all of our faces are on the flyer, basically stating that we're hosting, and we ain't getting paid for it. So both of them are pissed off about that, and they're even more mad because they're like, Sydney invited Mehgan, and then they didn't even say Mehgan. They're like, she invited somebody here, and they keep saying somebody. I mean, that somebody is somebody that y'all know. So it's not necessarily anybody. It'd be one thing if it was a stranger, but it's somebody. It's Mehgan. Like, you know who Mehgan is, but they just don't like it because it's Mehgan, and they scared that she's gonna come in there and whoop their ass. But and that part that killed me too is like they're saying that's disrespectful. But if one of them did it, would it be an issue? Would you expect them to be doing what y'all are doing right now? No. But they mad about that, and then they mad about the flyer situation. They both talking about how they bring in all this money and yada yada yada. Every time I'm on the flyer, I'm getting paid for it, which I understand. If I was on TV, one episode of a show or a reality show period, I'm gonna start trying to get some bookings as well. And yeah, if you want me to be somewhere, I want to get paid for it too. Which is where I can understand that, but I mean, they're just being dramatic as usual. And they get to the point where they're basically just saying like, I don't like it. So then Natalie tells Tanisha that in the group, they have a group chat for all the girls. I guess Tanisha ain't in it because Natalie's showing it to Tanisha and she's acting like she ain't seen nothing about this at all. And I'm like, why is she not in the group chat? She's on the show too. But Natalie puts the flyer in there and it's like, who put Mehgan on this flyer? Who put all of us on this flyer saying that we're all hosting an event? And she's like, it's bullshit, yada yada yada. And Sydney's like, well, I guess somebody's mad. And then ends up sending I guess Sydney's the one that sent the screenshot to Mehgan, because Mehgan has now posted the screenshot of Natalie's messages in the group chat on her Instagram story. And basically Mehgan's taunting her and like, look, somebody's upset that I'm coming to this event. And then Mehgan's like, well, I'm not coming, bye. And then she posts basically the next slide, Mehgan is posting herself walking up to the mansion. And Mehgan's making fun of it, saying it looks like some witch's den and saying it looks old and decrepit, which it does. Like, I mean, you look at that house from the outside, it looks like it could be nice. But as we see, there's nothing in that house. Like, how do you have a mansion with no furniture? Like, it looks dusty and dirty, and it looks like you're literally renting it out, which is what they're doing. But you look like you're renting it out, and there's nothing in there. Like, you can tell they just found a mansion and said, okay, let's put 2 couches in here, 3 queen size beds, and yada yada yada, and that's it. But Natalie's basically taking offense to Mehgan making fun of the house too. And Tanisha's cracking up laughing because she's like, it does look like a witch's den. Like, she's not lying. She's cracking up laughing. And Natalie's like, look, I'm not playing with you. Stop laughing. So, I mean, they just basically going back and forth. And Natalie's trying to figure out who sent the screenshot to Mehgan, basically saying somebody in here is trying to start some shit. And it's probably most likely Sydney, but whatever. So now, Tanisha is basically telling Natalie that Mehgan being here could be good for them to just basically go ahead and make a business plan, and because they said that they were going to try and start a business with the brand Baddies. And she's like, you don't feel like you can do that? Like, we need to go over there and talk to her. So they get in the car and they about to go over there and speak with Mehgan and see what's about to go down. This episode is actually kind of good, y'all. I'm actually surprised. Well, it's because of Mehgan. I mean, Mehgan's creating the storyline, but Mehgan finally arrives and she gets up to the house. She gets out of her little van, and Christina greets her. They come running up and hugging each other because they're the two girls from season 9. They were on the same season together, so obviously they're close. And they were 2 of the 3 girls from their season that was just beating bitches' asses. Erica, who I feel like should be on the show, because I mean they're doing season 2. I feel like she would make the show a little more real. But they're excited. They get in the house. She's got balloons. Christina's like, we're gonna go get this cake, take these balloons up to Sydney, and then we're gonna tell you about what's going on. So they get up in there. Sydney's sitting in there acting like she don't know what's going on, even though she does say that she knows who's coming in the room. But Christina comes in there with the cake. Mehgan's behind her with the balloons, and she's excited to see Mehgan. And she said that she didn't think Mehgan was gonna come after all the mess with Natalie and the Instagram stories and stuff, but she's here. And Mehgan's excited, and Mehgan comes, and it's funny because Mehgan is in her natural attire, her little "I'm about to fight you" gear. She got some sweats. She got some sweats on, a sweatshirt, and she got on some Chanel sneakers, like with her little with her vape in her hand, and she ready to go. But they kind of give her a rundown of everything. Megan's like, I want to know who fought. So they tell her about the fights and stuff, and Sydney pretty much gets to the point. Like, a lot of these fights, at least the most recent one with Sarah and Seven, all had something to do with her. She orchestrated the fight. And Megan's like, it seems like you the one that's doing all the fighting, like you the one that's starting all the fights. Seems like you just being messy. And Sydney sitting there laughing and saying like, no, I'm not doing anything, but I mean, I'm gonna basically serve Judy breakfast in bed. And that's another thing, Judy's been missing from this episode. I don't like that. Like, where's Judy at? But she said she gonna serve Judy breakfast in bed, and Mehgan, like me, is like, she said like, man, fuck this. I'm not about to take her seriously. What are you talking about, Sydney? Judy's gonna kill you because she gonna put some voodoo on you. But yeah, they just get to that point, just got her chopped up on everything and what's going on in the house and what has been happening in the house. And then they get to the point of just basically talking about like where Mehgan's at with Natalie and Tanisha. And Mehgan's like, me and Natalie have this everlasting 10-decade-year feud that they've got going on, and there's no resolution. That hasn't been. And Mehgan's like, I can not like you, and that's okay. Like, we can come to a conclusion that I don't have to like you, and we still don't have to have any beef. Like, if you want to fight it out, we can fight it out. She's asking if they got boxing gloves, if they want to scrap it out in the hall, that's what they can do. She down for whatever. As we all know, Mehgan is always down for whatever, especially wearing what she's wearing. And then she says, like, Tanisha, she just ain't fucking with Tanisha because she feel like Tanisha is fake. Which, like I said, I feel like she fake too. I mean, after watching this show, like, Sydney and Christina then said in this scene as well, like, I've seen a different Tanisha in this house than what I once saw. Like, she's not the same person. She does too much. And Christina was hitting the nail on the head with that, saying like she's just trying to act like a bad girl, just being messy and just doing a lot to be on the TV. But yeah, they was clocking both of them, and Mehgan's basically at the point like, I was cool with Tanisha, I like Tanisha, but she's fake, and I don't really fuck with that. And Mehgan said she ain't a fake person, she ain't gonna be dealing with that shit. Like, if I don't like you, I don't like you, and that's just that. But Sydney's like, okay, well, they're both in this other room, so I want you to go in here and see, and we're gonna try and get this resolved. So they're now about to go meet Mehgan, so we'll see how this goes. All right, so we get Natalie and Tanisha walking into that little boardroom meeting room that they have. And first of all, when they sat down, you could see dirt stains on the wall, and it just lines up with everything Seven was saying about that house just being filthy. Like, that's disgusting. Like, you can't help but see it, and there's crumbs on the floor. Like, they living like some damn heathens up in there. But they sitting in there talking about, like, they're not going out to the club. And it's funny because Natalie is sitting in her confessional with her thug accent, her put on thug accent. Because Natalie's got this. She can switch her tone. She can sound prim and proper if she wants to. She can try to sound like a thug if she wants to, and that's what she's doing. Talking about with me and Tanisha in the room, Mehgan, you don't want this smoke. Da 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 da. Like, with the two of us in here, and it's me and you against us two, or it's you against us two. It's going down. Like, Natalie, ain't nobody worried about y'all. Ain't nobody worried about you, and ain't nobody worried about Tanisha. Especially not Mehgan. But Sarah comes in there, and basically, they're telling her, I'm not going out to the club. Neither one of them's going out to the club. Natalie claims she's tired. Tanisha saying, like, I can't talk, you hear me? Like, Tanisha, we all can do that. We've all done that. I've done that plenty of times when I was younger in school. because I didn't want to go to school. So I'm claiming that my voice is hoarse. All the while, my voice wasn't hoarse. I was just knowing how to pretend and act. But that's what Tanisha was doing. And basically, they told Sarah to go get Sydney to bring Mehgan in. And it's basically about to be a cliffhanger, so we're about to just jump straight into this, and we'll watch the trailer for the next episode, which is probably going to be just basically them sitting there talking about their issues. So here we go.
Hi, girls.
They look scary as hell.
You threw this on us last minute.
Okay, look, I'm here.
I know you like to be petty.
Oh, I promise. Wait, I got a question. I heard y'all got boxing gloves. Anybody want to fight?
I'm letting y'all into my world tonight.
This is gonna fuck up. Happy birthday, Sceeed.
I'm a bad girl now, y'all.
I snatched her wig and she's still kissing my ass.
I know, that's what I'm
So
saying.
why are you trying to start a fight?
Y'all not gonna get no sleep for me.
No way.
Get no sleep for me.
I personally need something stretched out. Not my pussy today.
Get low. There you go, lower.
Oh, I got Charlie horse.
Play with your kids. Don't play with me, sis. Don't play with your kids. It's dangerous out here. It's dangerous out here. It's dangerous out here. Play with your kids.
I like that song. That song is just funny to me. Don't play with me, sis. Play with your kids. But that looks interesting. It looks entertaining. It's better than what we've had in the past trailer. Like that mid trailer. Let's talk about that mid trailer. That mid trailer looks sorry as fuck, if you want to ask me. But that looked like a good episode. I mean, you had a mixture of the drama. You had a mixture of the entertainment. They went out to the club. Funniness with Janelle being funny. But yeah, and then they got lit. Like they got strippers in the house. But yeah, that was the end of that episode. Let me know what y'all think. Comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. That'll be right here. But yeah, please thumbs us up. Comment down below. Y'all been, I don't know if y'all been sleep on me or you just ain't trying to watch the other videos, but watch some other videos. Big Brother and Love Island, I got those as well. I'll be back in this thing with the, oh, that's what we were supposed to be talking, y'all. Baddies ATL reunion just filmed. Yeah, it was yesterday, either the day before yesterday or yesterday. Sarah done dropped some receipts. And y'all know I ain't really been a fan of Sarah this season. But she done dropped audio of Natalie out here just dogging all these girls. Just talking mad shit. And it just switched from like some of them girls fucking with Natalie to none of them at this point. Besides Tanisha. Like Sarah was not playing. She backed up her shit. Like she said she had some shit on her, which you should have, like, just thinking, just hindsight, I should have thought that, because Natalie was out here going to meet with her lawyers trying to basically threaten to sue Sarah for doing this, like blackmail. But I mean, you wouldn't go to your lawyers and pay a lawyer to sue somebody if there wasn't anything to sue. So I should have known then and there that that was some real shit. But real interesting, which started some fight because she was talking shit. She was talking shit about Christina. She was talking shit about Sydney. That's nothing shocking. But she was talking shit about Seven, and she was talking shit about Janelle. And them two girls, they weren't her friends, but they was not like, they wasn't dogging her out. Like, they was cool with her. Wrong move, messing with Seven, especially when she spoke on Seven's kid too. We got a good reunion to look forward to. I'm excited to see that, and Megan's gonna be there too, so that's gonna be interesting. I'm really excited to see that. But yeah, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Y'all will be seeing me twice today because I got Big Brother review coming out after this one drops because it comes on at 8. So yeah, I'm gonna edit this shit. I'm gonna go watch Big Brother, and y'all see me later. Love Island will be coming soon as well. But check with me later. Thank you, comment, like, subscribe, and I will check with y'all soon.